All right, now before anybody starts crying or rage typing at me in the comments section, I'm not on here to judge these players or any of these students for these speeding or racing or whatever else that they're doing. That's not even the point of the video. It's obviously a problem. I mean, you have to have your head so far in the sand at this point as a Georgia fan not to recognize it. It's not that I think racing or whatever it is that they keep getting caught doing is some sort of, it makes them some sort of lifelong criminal. I mean, there's not a bunch of Lex Luthors running around on the Georgia football team. Obviously, what they're doing is pretty low on the criminal scale. However, at this point, you just can't take each individual case in and of itself and ignore just all of the other instances of basically the exact same thing by a different set of players. Never mind the fact that just over a year and a half ago, 2 people lost their life associated with the University of Georgia in relationship to these car issues, if that's what you want to call it. So I don't, as far as that goes, look, I don't have the answers. As far as how do you keep a bunch of, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds, whatever, how do you keep them from speeding or racing or whatever else it is? How do you keep, I don't have the answers to that. I don't know. And again, none of that is really the point of the video, but I can't even get to the point of the video without first addressing that. But because it's just so out there now at this point. There's been, almost 30 basically traffic violations, which again, in and of themselves are not that serious. And I'm not pretending that these people are murderers or lifelong criminals or that they should be kicked off the team for basically a ticket or a traffic violation. I'm not suggesting that at all, okay? But what I am suggesting is that whatever it is that's been going on there, whether it's Kirby talking to players one-on-one, whether it's Kirby and the staff talking to the team as a whole, whether it's Kirby bringing in speakers to talk to the team about the dangers involved in these things, all of which have been done multiple times over the last year and a half. Whatever it is, all of that they're doing and whatever else it is that they're doing, it ain't working. I mean, it's just not working. Again, Georgia's my favorite. I'm a college football fan, but Georgia's my favorite team. I say it all the time. But to those of you who have been around here for any length of time, I don't hide or shy away from negativity or things that I think are wrong or bad about the University of Georgia. And this is a situation that's got to get cleaned up. Again, I don't know what the answers are to prevent them from doing it. I don't know. But the punishments that are involved, that's what's got to change, okay? We've all made bad decisions in our lives. Look, trust me, I've made way more than I would care to admit, okay? Way more. But every single time, I've paid the price and I've suffered the consequence. And I pick myself up and I go on and try to become a better person later. Am I successful at that all the time? No. So I'm not casting stones here, okay? I've had more than my fair share of problems. So I'm not coming down on any individual player, any group of players, all of the players that have had tickets or traffic run-ins. That's not even the point of this video, okay? There's news out today that Georgia's NIL Collective, and this is from Kirby Smart, so this isn't a rumor or fake news, okay? I didn't read this on CNN or whatever. I guess Georgia's answer or solution to what's going on is for their NIL collective to basically fine any player that gets caught up in one of these speeding or racing or traffic related offenses, which again are misdemeanors in and of themselves individually are not that big of a deal. It's the collective that has become the problem here. Georgia is basically right now known for 2 things: really good football teams and a bunch of traffic incidents, a bunch of speeding and racing, and unfortunately, the death of 2 people associated with the program. One player who had just declared for the NFL draft and a recruiting coordinator or whatever whatever. I can't remember her title, and I apologize, but I don't know what it's going to. But back to the finding thing. So there are SEC media days, and Kirby comes out and says, "Well, the NIL is finding the players. If they get a speeding ticket or a racing ticket." What? Okay, first of all, I'm not against that in and of itself. We have long talked on this channel and just everywhere in the world of college football about a lot of the negative things that come along with NIL, but that potentially there could be some positives. This is a positive. Listen, an NIL deal is a contract between the player and something or somebody, a company, an entity, a charity, an NIL. It's a contract. And within that contract, there can be stipulations can be placed. And so I am all for Georgia's NIL or whatever placing stipulations within their NIL contract with players to fine them if certain things occur or require them to play in the bowl game. I'm still waiting on that one all over the country. That's the only thing that's going to solve bowl problems. Money. You want this NIL money? Play in the bowl game. You sign this contract, you got to play in that. But anyway, that's not the point. My issue is that Kirby is coming across as outsourcing team discipline. He was asked, "What are you doing about all these traffic incidents?" Well, the NIL Collective is finding them. Huh? No. What are you doing? What are you doing, Kirby? And I would like to know too. And I don't mean preventative. Obviously, there needs to be a lot more on the preventative side because whatever they're doing, like we mentioned, bringing in speakers, whatever's not working, that's not what I'm talking about when I say I want to know what Kirby's doing. I want to know what Kirby's doing discipline-wise. You can't outsource team discipline. That can't be the only answer. That cannot be the only answer. You've had 25, 30 players ticketed for basically the same thing in the last year and a half or related things, racing, speeding, whatever the case. 2 people have died, 25 to 30 incidents over the last year and a half. The only answer you have cannot be, well, we're outsourcing that to the NIL Collective. They're finding the players and no, there has to be something else. You can't pass the buck here. I love Kirby. I think he's the best college football coach in the country today. It's hard to argue that he's not. With Saban retiring, Saban was really the only other coach that there was any argument. It was Kirby Saban. With Saban retiring, there's no argument. Kirby's the best coach in college, and I love Kirby. And his positives far outweigh the negative. But that doesn't mean we have to ignore the negative as Georgia fans. This is a problem that has got to get corrected. It has become an image issue. This is what Georgia is known for right now. Well, true or not, it doesn't matter. Perception is reality. And the reality is that Georgia's football team plays football part-time and speeds around town full-time. And nothing ever happens or gets done about it. That's the perception. And for Kirby to come out at media days where there's a million eyeballs on everything he's saying and come across as though he's passing the buck off to the NIL Collective in terms of punishment for this, unacceptable to me. This guy is making $10 million a year. He has to be responsible in the end for what's going on. And that means making tough decisions. Not passing tough decisions off to a ghost NIL Collective in the background, in the shadows somewhere. We don't know who it is, what it is. We don't know. Again, none of these players are career criminals. None of them are bad kids, bad guys. I don't think any of them should be locked up and throw the key away. I don't think any of them should be kicked off the team. Not for a first offense traffic violation. That's insanity. I've heard some other, you start kicking these people off the team. There ain't a coach in the country that's kicking anybody off the team because they got a ticket for racing. It's not happening. Not happening. And it's not happening at Georgia, nor should it. But again, it's the number of issues over the last 25, 30 issues of basically the same thing involving all different players. Something more has to be done. Suspend them for a game. Something. There's nothing more valuable. Nothing. Not NIL. Nothing. Not their education. Nothing. Nothing is more valuable to a college football player than playing time. Nothing. Nothing. That is the gateway to life-changing, generational money for these football players. Playing time at a major power program like the University of Georgia. Nothing is more valuable to them than that. Start taking it away, one game at a time.